In this episode, we welcome Lumatic's Animator director and co-founder Tomer Eshed to unveil the studio's philosophy on animation, its approach to visual style and production values, as well as its upcoming slate of projects, including those presented at Annecy.
Hi, good morning. I'm Veronica Orciari, and welcome to the Deep Media Pulse, the first video podcast dedicated to the evolution of content, IPs, and brands, produced by Licensing Magazine together with Animation Journal. And as you can see, we're here in Annecy, and we've moved our location because we've been nicely hosted by Tomer Eshed, who is here with us to show us this special booth. Can you introduce yourself, Tomer, and show us where we are?
Well, hello and thank you. My name is Toma, and we are here in an Annecy booth. We're here for the first time in this constellation, so we're very excited to be here and actually, take part of the event. So basically, what we are doing here is representing the company. A company exists, Lumatic, Animation and Visual Effects. It's a company that exists since 12 years now. And we've been working in Germany for the German film industry, mostly on cinema productions and mainly focusing on character animation. We all met at the film school way back then at those times, and then after school we kind of created a collective of animators, 2D, 3D, and we have also sound people. And later on, about 6 years later, we split up and then founded Lumatic, where we specialize on commercial productions and in CG animation. We have been working on feature films productions, like fully animated feature films, like Dragon Rider here, which I had the pleasure of directing as well. And on hybrid productions like the one we see running on the screen now. This is it's called School of Magical Animals. It's a very successful film franchise in Germany that's running at the moment. First film, we kind of joined in after. We weren't there from the start, but it turned out to be a big success. And afterward, there's a sequel and a prequel. Just wrapped up number 4. Here's the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, and number 5 is coming out. So this has been a really unexpected success that ended up also producing a merchandise campaign. And since I've actually designed these animals as well, it's really nice to see how it starts from just a first sketch, and then it develops into a flat image and a moving image, and eventually something that you can actually hold in your hand. So that's nice.
Lovely. So can we discover a little bit more about how it's going for you guys here in Annecy at the booth? What are you, what you've been looking for? What kind of, what do you think the situation is? A little bit of a pulse check of 2026 year in Annecy for you.
Well, so far it's been actually a really lovely experience. It's really hot, probably noticed. It's been but here inside it's cool and nice. Very busy, nice atmosphere. It's definitely a different experience to participate in the event than just to come and visit, and also to get in touch with people in different regards. We had a lot of traffic here. Our booth is in kind of a pretty good location, so we have a lot of traffic here. People coming and going. And the conversation vary from students that are basically looking for opportunities to work in the different fields, and but we are also, besides providing the service of character animation, whether fully animated, hybrid, or any other application for that matter, we also do classical visual effects work. Production design, set extensions, simulations, wire removals, and so on. The conversations were going in different directions. But we are also, besides that, developing our own IPs. So we are also looking for collaborators here. And this is a really good place to do that because everyone is here. So as far as our development state goes, we have 5 projects in different development stages. We started pitching not too long ago, and now we are here, engaging, trying to see if we can find partners that we can work with and getting these projects off the ground.
Well, let's discuss the animation side then, because this is the temple of animation. So I would like to know from you, if you were to describe sort of your approach to animation? Would you have 3 keywords to describe it? And also, which are your favorite? Because animation is such a big concept. Which are your favorite, ways for animations to be expressed? And yeah, if you could find a sort of fil rouge, a connection out of all the things the projects that you work on, what would it be?
Tricky question, and I'll do my best to answer it because I come from drawing basically, and I like drawing. I like drawing characters, designing characters. That's what I like to do. This is how I got into animation. And at a certain point, I started doing more CG animation, more than drawings. But the principles of drawn animation, the cartoony principles, still apply on the style of animation that we are doing today, even though we are not. I'm using like drawing as the final result. The way we approach, let's say, this film franchise, for example, here we have really the cross point between animation and visual effects because we are doing 2D animation on live action plates. And the way we would approach that is by starting with drawings, and draw as much as possible. So if it's just a few scribbles to define key poses or just the action that's going to happen in a shot or a sequence, there after we nail that as the foundation, we move up the resolution ladder in going to storyboards, and then try to push the storyboards also as much as possible so we can get the fundamental coming from the drawn 2D principles. Once we have that, the 3D animators come and pick it up from that point and taking it further into the creature animation qualities that hybrid productions kind of require, while having everything based on the drawn principles. So I know it was a bit more than 3 words, but I guess that would describe the approach to the whole thing. What we have at the end is a nice mix of basically 2D animation in a live action environment. Not the first time, not the last time that this happened, but I think the nice thing here is that sometimes this transition from like creature animation, like you can have a cat coming in, walking in, looking like a cat, and then switching into a 2D character. This happens on camera sometimes, and that's like the nice because like there's not really conflict. There's a consensus that if live action means like creature animation, that means this type of animation, and 2D animation that's more family entertainment, and then you have this drawn 2D logic behind it, and that there's a separation. It's like a right or wrong. It was like there's no separation. It works. You can have it like in the same film, and you can have it in the same shot, and there's no real conflicts there.
You've been working in the industry for quite a long time, and and again, you work closely with animation. I would like to know if you could share with our audience any insight on what you think has changed. Of course, this is a very broad question, but I will pin it down to maybe what were your ideas like when you first entered, when you first decided this was going to be sort of your life, and how they've changed now. What are some things that you're like, oh no, I was so foolish to think that was that way, so that you could share, with the people who are listening to us around maybe misconceptions you had, and then that this job working here taught you, and that you would want anyone to know.
Yeah, I guess people that go into animation in the beginning, this applies on me, but probably on many other people as well, have a very naive sort of imagine this as big. Oh, this is so much fun. They like drawing cartoons for a living. It's like it must be so fun. I get this a lot when I talk to people. But then you go into working in the field and you realize that animation is a struggle. It is a struggle because it doesn't matter which technique, whether it's drawn or computer or puppets or whatever it is. It takes forever. It's gonna bring you to the edge of your mental capacity. It's gonna it's one of the toughest creative disciplines there are because everything takes so long and because it requires such a high level of patience and dedication and focus. I guess the biggest challenge is staying objective. You know, if you spend a year or so working on a project, you are not exactly the same person, and some projects stretches over more than 1 year. So yeah, standing behind decisions you made like 3 years ago or 5 years ago, that is a little tricky because especially in the field where technically you can still change and adapt. But of course, that's not the idea to keep on working on everything forever. The idea is to actually wrap things up and move on. So I guess this is as far as challenges go. For me, I was getting after going in there and starting animating and started doing short films, and then moving on to from directing shorts to directing feature film, and then moving on from just like fully animated to also like hybrid productions and expanding in all of these directions. I think animators really like animating. That's one thing. It's like it is fun. It can be fun. With being hard and everything, it just needs to happen in conditions that allow this job to be fun and not just a torture. And basically, that's not much. You just need to be able to create this bubble where people are able to just do their thing. And of course, you need guidance, and of course, time is money, and of course, deadlines are deadlines. All of this applies, but you get basically the best results when you have happy artists. And in our studio, this is very important for us that our artists are happy. So we do try to provide the conditions, the ideal conditions, for everyone to be able to do their thing. And if people are stuck or need help, we try to be there for them to be able to provide all the assistance we can so that the people will get the maximum out of themselves and be happy with the time that they spend with us and hopefully come back.
Well, yeah, animation is it's not easy, but that's why we're all here, because I think love is at the heart of like taking this long amount of time and ensuring that there's the patience and love and care. And as you say, it's not easy to follow through on projects that take years, and things change over time. And yeah, if you could summarize the sort of core at the heart of your company to the audience as a last question, what would you say it is? What would you want people that listen to us to take out from you?
Well, I guess the best way to say it is that we care about our work, we care about our people, our team, and we don't have unhappy clients. That means we do have high internal standards. The work we are doing, comparing to the general standard in Germany, or just like whatever the limitations of the budget and times are, we do try to get the most out of it in terms of quality, because only when you're aiming for the maximum, all of this makes sense. Well, at least for me, I know that people are more enthusiastic and more passionate about doing it when you know that they have a chance to actually go to some sort of maximum, whether it's objective or subjective. But that mindset is the one is I think what enables us to actually push it always. And even though it might be demanding at times, it's also fun this way. It's actually where that's the sport in it. So yeah, I guess this is in a nutshell what we are all about.
Now I would like to start a new episode with them.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, maybe next time we can have them have a little chat.
Yeah. Well, that's
that's the goal. Yeah. Next episode of the podcast, we'll have them on board. Well, thank you very much for being with us, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Deep Media Pulse, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you again.
You've just listened to the Deep Media Pulse, Decoding Brand and Content Evolution, a video podcast powered by Licensing Magazine and Animation Journal. Thank you for listening, and see you in the next episode.